Alrighty then. So much has changed. If you don't know, we just did a live stream for about 30 to 40 minutes where we broke down the winners and losers of free agency. You can go check that out on the channel. We will obviously talk about free agency as we do today's startup draft. There is so much that has happened, so much that has changed. Winners, losers. But do us a favor, go ahead and smash that like button. It's just a very, very simple way for you to help support this channel, to help us grow, to help the channel grow, and help the community grow as well. So do us a favor, hit that like button. We are going to talk about it all. We'll talk about how this impacts the landscape of Dynasty. And look, there's no better way to do that than by doing a Dynasty startup, because that tells us what people think about these players. So we are going to dive into it, but how can people join today's mock draft, Badake?
Yeah, guys, join our Discord if you want to join any mock draft in the future and or now. Join our Discord, link in the description, and link is going to be in the chat. Go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs. Then go to content releases. That's exactly how you can join each and every mock draft. We're going to be checking out these new ADPs with these players. It is first come, first serve here. So once again, join our Discord. Link in the description, link in the chat. Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs. Content releases. And that's exactly where I'll be sending out this link to this new mock draft. And I'm going to be sending that link out here and now. 3, 2, 1. Once again, first come, first serve. That link is out.
All right.
So much has changed.
Obviously, if you were not with us earlier, as this mock draft is about to fill up, we talked about winners and we talked about losers. And quick recap, we talked about how the Vikings, this is not good for any Minnesota Viking. It's not good for Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. To lose a quarterback like Kirk Cousins that has had such a long history of, being associated with fantasy success for his weapons, that is going to hurt. The Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard deals, it just doesn't make sense. What are we supposed to take away from this backfield? Same for Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson. And I would say actually that one makes a little bit more sense for the Patriots as a team. But obviously it sucks for fantasy because Stevenson was really relying on volume. As for Rashawn Johnson and DeAndre Swift, Badake and I saw that one a little bit differently, but I just don't like the landing spot. I don't think this is going to help Swift or Johnson. You go from the clear guy in Philly to, in my opinion, now in a shared backfield in Chicago. I like it for the Bears. I don't like it for fantasy. We also talked about winners, clear winners, all Atlanta Falcons. Kyle Pitts, Drake London. We've been waiting for this day. The day has come, and finally we get to talk about those guys and what they can do in fantasy football. Josh Jacobs. The Packers went absolutely savage today, cut their longtime superstar running back in Aaron Jones and replaced him straight away with Josh Jacobs. Absolute savagery. In free agency day one. Saquon, it goes to the Eagles, but Aki talks about how heartbreaking that was for him. Devin Singletary now to the Giants. Michael Pittman got a long-term deal. Gardner Minshew is going to battle out for the starting job in Las Vegas. Gus links up with Roman back in Los Angeles. George Pickens gets an upgrade at quarterback, at least a perceived upgrade. And Bryce Young, of course, he gets an offensive lineman to at least help him a little bit. But we are doing a Superflex PPR tight end premium startup draft. There will be 60 seconds on the clock. Let's see how Dynasty has changed after all of these changes.
Yeah. Here we
see in the chat. What's up, Styles? Welcome in. What's up, Sparrow? What's up, Johnny? What's up, Maddie? We see all of you guys. Eckler to Washington. Yes, that's crazy. What's up, Mighty Booch? Welcome in. Welcome in. It's great to be here with you guys. What's up, Macy, Theo, Mad Hats, Sets is here, Sparrow is here. We see all of you guys in the chat. All right, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, all off the board in the top 3. Of course, this is a super flex draft. Stroud off the board next. And, of course, Kirk Cousins about to go off the board. No, I'm kidding.
Shout out to Kirk Cousins. I mean, my guy got $100 million for 2 years.
4 years, right? Isn't it a 4-year deal?
If I read something like if you really break it down, the 100 million comes in the first 2 years.
Okay.
Something ridiculous like that.
Okay. Gotcha.
But I could be wrong.
All right, I am on the clock here, and there are quite a few options that I do love still. Justin Herbert's probably going to be the pick for me here, and he comes off the board. What do we think about T. Higgins requesting a trade, by the way? I think you're muted.
No, I'm not muted. I was
okay.
just. I don't think it's something that the Bengals are gonna do. Like, you want to trade doesn't mean that I'm gonna trade you.
Sure.
And I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't necessarily believe that they will.
Okay.
I guess short term.
That's fair.
Yeah.
A-Rich off the board before Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow falls to the 108. That is crazy. Now you're on the clock.
Yes, I am on the clock here, thinking about my pick. Let me look at my rankings here. Just pulling that up right now. Yeah, and I figured. Jamar Chase, always been my wide receiver 1, by the way.
Yeah, that's looking good now. Yeah.
Always been my wide receiver 1, and what was my biggest concerns is the longevity with Justin Jefferson and a quarterback that's going to be consistent. We all believed and hoped Kirk Cousins was going to be there, but he's no longer there. So I will be taking Jamar Chase once again, who is with Joe Burrow, if he can stay healthy. I think now the biggest caveat is with both Jamar Chase stay healthy and Joe Burrow stay healthy.
I think now Jefferson probably is comfortably wide receiver 3 instead of battling for that number 1 spot, and it's not because Justin Jefferson isn't worthy of being number 1. But until we get any indication on who his quarterback's going to be long term, we just cannot trust him over a guy like Jamar Chase linked to Joe Burrow, a guy like CeeDee Lamb linked to Dak Prescott long term. A CeeDee Lamb who just finished as a wide receiver 1 last year. So I got CeeDee Lamb as my wide receiver 1. He goes as a wide receiver 3 off the board here. Obviously, we saw Eckler to Washington. Was there any other deals? Jordan Brooks goes to the Dolphins.
Well, the big deal that I did want to talk about that is concerning, but I think they're still open to make a move, is the Jags. The Jags do sign Gabe Davis. Now it's concerning because if they believe that Gabe Davis is the answer after the whole Calvin Ridley debacle, which there have been reports that Calvin Ridley could still come back to this team.
Sure.
But at the same time, what happens if the Jags don't pick a wide receiver in the first 3 rounds?
Sure.
That's concerning long term for Trevor Lawrence, because that just puts more of a stamp on Christian Kirk's the guy.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think Gabe Davis is the only answer they're going to give him, but also we saw Trevor Lawrence finish as a quarterback 8 when Kirk was his number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a death sentence for Trevor Lawrence personally, but I get it.
Yeah.
Interesting to see Lawrence go ahead of Caleb, because I think you and I would probably have Caleb ahead of him right now. That's not anti-Trevor. It's just I think the way that you and I would feel. Styles says, may have missed your explanation, Zach, but you have Herbert over Burrow or in the same tier. I have them in the same tier. I just prefer Herbert over Burrow. But that's not new in my rankings. That's been reflected in my rankings since last year, I'd say. It's not anti-Burrow either. I would put them in the same tier.
Yeah.
What are you doing here at the 204? Marvin's gone, Caleb's gone, and now you're on the clock.
Well, let's see here. According to me rankings, I should potentially go another. I'm gonna get a quarterback here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious who it is.
I'll take Kyler.
Damn it. Okay. I wanted Kyler or Jordan. I saw them both slipping. Damn.
Yeah, I thought Kyler and Love would go after, and I was going to be okay taking one of the rookie quarterbacks.
Okay, there goes Drake May off the board. I mean, I'm not gonna pass up on a Monra here. I don't think so. I'll take a Monra at 207.
Yeah, good value there. I think no question about it.
Yeah,
Definitely somebody that I was also contemplating. Because I was like, oh, do I wait for these quarterbacks? But I figured it's going to be hard when the quarterbacks come back in the third round here.
I agree big time. But there could be some good values later in the draft now with free agency. I mean, time will tell.
I feel like the running back room has just revamped itself. I felt like it was top 8 running backs that I think we kept preaching that you feel comfortable with. And I feel like that just expanded to 12 to potentially 15, depending on how you view some places and some people. Sure. I think some people solidify themselves moving up, and then some people solidify themselves going down, or don't solidify themselves by moving down. So
we see in the chat, what's up, Jamar? Golf Gang is here. Styles says Golf Gang. Johnny says, I think T is tough talking, looking for an extension. I think so too. We'll have to wait and see what happens there.
I think there's a little talk as well.
But let me ask you, as we're going through round 2, what do you think is the best and worst signing for Dynasty football? I know we just talked about it, but now that we're here in a startup draft, who do you think had the best signing, and who do you think had the worst signing?
The best and worst signing.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I think there's a couple different ways you can definitely go. I would say for the best has to be Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Moving on, going to the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
That's what I would say, because he changes that offense completely.
Yeah.
100%. And worst signing, I don't really have this is terrible, I think this guy's down in the dumps anymore. But I think the most confusing signing, I think, is Tony Pollard.
I agree.
That's what I would say.
That one didn't make much sense.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to go to the Titans, but
yeah, Pollard and Spears. I just don't understand how that makes sense. I mean, it wouldn't have surprised me if they brought in like someone to complement him, but to bring in a very similar player it's a little head scratching.
The thing is, via size, there was no one to complement unless they wanted to pay big money.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you think of the running backs that are available, you have the Ecklers, the who else I'm trying to think? The Ecklers, the Gibsons, like everyone that was in that range that could have signed within that price range just wasn't that guy for them. Unless they wanted Josh Jacobs or Saquon. And I doubt they wanted to pay that big money to them because they've been doing that for 8 years.
Man, Jaden Daniels at the 3-3. I was like, how far is he going to slide? That's a huge value at the 3-3. What a start by Steel Mob here. Mahomes, A.J. Brown, and Jaden Daniels. That's one hell of a start. Crime Lord had a great question. More of a headache. Which backfield? Seattle or Tennessee? Do you need aspirin or do you need some morphine?
I would say Seattle's more of a headache.
You think so?
Just because the pathway for Tajay and Tony is either going to be pass catching opportunities. Like, both of those guys can get pass catching opportunities.
Sure.
Where we need to figure out still who is going to be the guy, which everyone keeps saying is Kenneth Walker. I think we're going to see a big switch this year. This is why I bought him as a sell as well. But I would say Tajay. I would say Steelers. Seahawks. That's what I would say. I'm going everywhere.
Yeah, we could chuck the Steelers in there if we wanted to. Yeah, neither situation is exciting at all. I do think of all 4 of the names, Kenneth Walker is the most talented.
Yeah.
So I guess that would lead me to say the Titans then. Damn it. I wanted Brock Purdy. I was just watching him fall, and I was like, this is perfect. I'm about to get Brock Purdy. All right. That sucks, but that's okay. We still got options.
We still got options.
Man, I really hate this spot, actually. This sucks.
I'll show you. Was it the second pick? Let me just double check.
Man, this spot sucks, dude.
Oh no, we gave our early second.
Wow, this actually sucks. I have no idea what to do.
Be careful.
You
5, 4, 3.
I'm gonna
2,
panic pick.
1.
I literally don't know what to do there. I felt like Purdy was really the one I was banking on there.
Okay.
I had no idea what to do there. Tight end premium. Pats pay Michael. Oh yeah, their offensive lineman.
Yeah,
what
the
did they
offensive
give
lineman.
him?
They gave him it was like 57 million or something like that. I just saw it.
Let's see.
Let me see.
3 years, 57 million. Yeah. Well, that's good. Whoever the quarterback's gonna be.
Yeah, we wanted him. At least the Giants wanted.
Oh, the
him,
Giants did.
We got 2 other guys. A guy from the Packers and then another guy from the Raiders. So there goes DJ Moore.
Damn, I thought he was gonna fall. I was considering him at the 3-6, but I thought he was about to fall. That makes him wide receiver 11, and I don't think that's too early. But in Keep Trade Cut ranking, I think he's wide receiver 21 or something. So I thought that was gonna fall to me.
In the community for sure. I'm just gonna do it. Let's have some fun. Okay. And I think I don't think will be a surprise. Maybe it will be a surprise, but like we'll wait and see.
Drake. Yeah.
I go Drizzy Drake here. What's that? Wide receiver 12. A lot of good talented players on the board here, though. I mean, you still have Tyreek, Olave, Waddle, Ayuk, all still on the board. I think this is where his value is going to be at the peak of Dynasty startup season. No question about it.
Yeah.
So
I don't think that looks
prepared
weird
for this.
I don't think that looks weird at all. I like that.
Yeah, I would agree.
And really, that's the kind of range he was going when he was drafted, and he had Desmond Ridder as a starter. So it would not surprise me at all if Drake London absolutely skyrockets in ADP. Is Jay Hassan cooked? I wouldn't say he's cooked, but it certainly makes things a lot more messy. There's no way to look at Lockett restructuring and say, yeah, this is good for Jay Hassan. No. There's just no way to go and say that. So certainly it's pretty messy. We see Olave off the board, Rome Odunze, Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill, and now Trevor is back on the clock here. Yeah, man, Trey McBride does not feel very good right now, but I literally had no idea what to do because I was putting all my eggs in either Daniels or Purdy.
Yeah. Yeah, they all fall there. There goes Brock Bowers.
Goes Brock. Remember, tight end premium format. So that would make him tight end 2 in Dynasty, or tight end 3 in Dynasty right now.
Tight end 3, yeah.
What would that make London off the board?
Wide receiver 11 or 12, if I'm not mistaken.
That's wide receiver 10 when you don't include the rookies.
Okay. Once again, not surprising. Because, I mean, these rookies are going to fluctuate. What happens if one of these guys don't go to the landing spot we hope or liked? I think we're going to see that. And, you know, some of these guys, you're going to see that those values drop at some point in time here.
Yeah.
Let's see where Selimo goes. He has Justin Jefferson, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Chris Olave.
Solid wide receiver room to start, and he just keeps building around that. He goes Brandon Ayuk.
He does go Brandon Ayuk in here. All right, I think I'm going to get my quarterback.
Okay.
I know he's not going to come back to me. I'll take 2 attacks.
All right, yeah.
I'll take 2 attacks here.
2
Still
is
going to
off
the
the board.
4th round. Wow.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of his range.
I think once he gets a contract extension, he can definitely rise, but we'll wait and see. He still hasn't gotten it yet.
Yeah. So
But,
Tua's off the board. Macy on the clock here. He goes Devonta Smith.
Oh, why he had to go to the Eagles, huh? Say? Go to the Eagles.
Saquon, yeah. Does that hurt? All right,
Look,
Tank Dell off the board,
yeah,
and
you're on the clock.
sorry, I'll take me some Rasheed Rice here.
Yeah, it doesn't. Look, it's not the Cowboys, but it's still like a division rival.
Kyle Pitts at the 4-8 with the news of Kirk Cousins coming to Atlanta. That makes him the tight end 1, 2, 3, 4 in Dynasty. Tight end 3 if you don't include the rookies.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying something?
No. I mean, I'm happy to move on to Kyle Pitts. I'm happy to be wrong.
I think you gotta make that mental change.
Do you still feel the same way if they draft another wide receiver?
I do not see a scenario in which they draft a wide receiver with their first overall pick. That would be 4 years in a row they would do that, and it's an entire new coaching staff and it's an entire new staff in general. So I would be shocked if they did that, but still, that doesn't mean that they're going to draft. Are they going to draft the tight end? I don't think so. Kyle Pitts is going to be a part of their game plan, no matter what, in my opinion.
Fair. My biggest concern is another weapon coming here that I just maybe think it's. We'll see. Look, I definitely will adjust. I just don't want to. I don't want to go skyrocketing Kyle Pitts up the boards there because I think we did that before. And
when have we done that? When he's had a competent quarterback? This is the first time he's ever had a competent quarterback.
I know. I agree. I'm not disagreeing. I just remember in the fantasy community, one of our biggest, even myself, one of our biggest things was that look what Marcus Mariota did with Delaney Walker in the past. Now
that is just not. I
don't understand.
Do not like that comparison at all.
How? Because that was the argument at the time.
Because Marcus Mariota had little success of fantasy anywhere for any player ever. Delaney Walker was like 1 or 2 years that he actually had success. We have 5+ years of Kirk Cousins making tight ends relevant, wide receivers relevant. Yeah, offense is very good.
And that's why I think
and they're different players, by the way. Like Kirk Cousins is a pocket passer.
I get that, and I'm not discrediting Kirk Cousins. I think he's significantly better than Marcus Mariota. I'm just saying a lot of the argument with why we believed in Kyle Pitts when they got Marcus Mariota was how successful he was going to be with the tight end. But hey, maybe that's wrong.
I don't know, dude. I don't understand that comparison.
I'm just trying to be.
Don't be stuck in take lock.
No, I'm not in take lock. I'm just trying to be cautious. I'm not. I don't want to just go straight into it and just be like Kyle Pitts is going to be this guy because I think I've already seen everyone on Twitter after Kirk Cousins signing saying Kyle Pitts should be tight end 1 over Sam Laporta over Mark Andrews. I actually don't think that, and I think that's where the fantasy community is going to go here with Kirk Cousins.
Well, anyone who has a brain isn't putting him over Laporta. But
that's
we're all saying like, tight end 2's up for grabs. I don't see why that's unrealistic.
No, and I agree. I never said it wasn't up for grabs. So I'm there with you. I think it is up for grabs. I'm just still very, very cautious.
Okay.
You're on the clock here.
I am on the clock. Man, I'm really not loving what's available to me. I'll take JJ here.
Okay.
Again, assuming he goes in the first round.
Yeah, for sure. I think he most likely will.
Yeah, I think he'll be a first.
It's kind of locked and loaded.
I mean, maybe if he's available at the Vikings pick, he's not getting past that.
No.
It could also be a Bronco. It could also be, there's so many different landing spots. But yeah, I mean, look, the Marcus Mariota thing, I don't know, dude. Like, it just doesn't line up with me. They're just completely different players. I get where you're coming from. Marcus had a 1-year deal. Kirk has a 4-year deal. We have a long, long history of him being successful with multiple positions, but I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Mad says JJ will go round 1. Sparrow, this is where my head is at. I think Atlanta goes Dallas Turner. I think they are the first team that it makes sense to take the best defensive player in the draft. Dallas Turner is what I meant to say. Absolutely balled out at the combine. Everyone loved him before the combine. So I think they have a real shot at taking the first defensive player off the board. Keeping in mind that their head coach is a defensive mind. We've seen this. What happened last year with the Texans? D'Amico Ryans wanted to get his guy, go out and trades up for Will Anderson. Now we've got Raheem Morris, another defensive mind. I think he'll take the best defensive player available off the board. What are you thinking here?
I wonder if it's time to take a running back, or should I go? I'm gonna go wide receiver here.
Okay. Jaden Reed off the board. Yeah, I was definitely eyeing him up.
I'll take Jaden Reed here.
Pick.
Yeah, I mean Atlanta. Like, this is the thing. If Rome Odunze is available at Atlanta's pick at 8, granted, they have the weapons, and maybe Dallas Turner and the offensive coordinators or whatever, this new regime. Are we not taking best player available? Like, if we're doing, I think that's kind of the same what they always say, right? You take best player available in the NFL draft. I think the NFL GM say that as well.
Who's to say that their board, the best player available is a wide receiver?
I know, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying hypothetically.
In the first round 3 years in a row.
But that's what I'm saying hypothetically. Yeah. If the best player available for them is one of those wide receivers, Rome Odunze and Brian Thomas Jr., I don't see how they don't take that. How the Falcons don't take either one of those wide receivers. If that is true in that world and scenario,
it's just not a need for them at all. It's a hugely deep wide receiver class. You can get a starter in round 2, 3, 4. You cannot get a Dallas Turner after the top 10. You can't get that type of player there.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua Schultz, what's up, brother? He says, how are we feeling about Rice if the Chiefs draft the first round receiver? Yeah, I mean, I have been on team buy Rashee Rice the entire offseason. I'm still in that, sphere, if you will. I still want to buy Rashee Rice. And it doesn't concern me if they bring in another wide receiver because I think that's actually a need for the team. But yeah, we saw him second half of the season when he became a full-time starter. That dude was a must-start player, and he was dominating for fantasy football. He was actually Pat's in the regular season, second half of the regular season. He was Pat's favorite target. I think people tend to forget that. Brian Thomas off the board at the 6'2". I like that pick. I was considering him at the 5'06".
Okay, let's see. Selimo still doesn't have a quarterback. I feel like he might punt it again. Let's see where he goes.
I know. I mean, is there a quarterback he likes on the board? Hard to say. Maybe.
I mean, there's a quarterback that I think he could definitely be taken here. I don't know. Maybe it's too early. No, I think there's 2 quarterbacks you can take right here. That's easy.
2?
I would say there's 2 quarterbacks you can.
Okay, there goes Bryce Young.
There goes one. That's who I was thinking. The other one is still on the board. Okay. Where do I go from here?
That's the question, brother. Everyone's trying to find out.
I think I'm gonna go. I think this is where you go, Say.
Okay. Saquon
What's that?
Barkley
RB
off the board.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. RB9. Saquon is off the board. Goes Jackson Smith in Jiba.
JSN off the board. I don't know why in my head I thought Jared Goff was still available.
I like Jared Goff. I was contemplating Jared or Tua. Like if Tua went off the board there, I was 100% taking Jared Goff.
Yeah.
That's where I was going.
I was definitely thinking about Goff as well.
No offense, re-signed with the Seahawks.
Yeah, I saw that.
Unlucky, brother.
I think, man, I don't like going running back this early, so I'm not gonna go that direction. We're gonna grab DK Metcalf here in the middle of the 6th round. Don't love DK, but I'll take that value there.
Yeah, I don't love either. I just pivoted off of these guys. None of these guys I want. I don't want Jackson Smith, Addison, or DK at the moment personally. I think I would rather wait a couple more rounds and maybe get some value on these rookies. Or maybe these older veterans potentially. Not older veterans, but maybe there's some opportunities for some people here that I like a lot.
So Tyron All's up here. He's got Lamar Jackson and Brock Purdy, Puka Nacua, Travis Etienne, and Kyle Pitts. And then Isaiah Pacheco goes off the board. Wow. Is that not early for him? Or I might be out of date here. 1, 2.
There's definitely three running backs. 3 running backs I would take over Isaiah Pacheco at this very moment.
RB10 off the board, Isaiah Pacheco. But that doesn't mean it's a bad pick. What's his career high when we look at points per game? Let me see. Don't be surprised if they had a running back in the drafts. Bucky Irving type. Someone like that.
Ooh. Which team? Sorry.
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs, right.
Let's have a look here. RB14 is his highest points per game, but Adonai Mitchell off the board at the 6-9. Yes, Justin, Josh Jacobs did move up our rankings after getting that 4-year contract. Yes, Noah Fant to Seattle. I mean, it doesn't get much more boring than that.
Yeah. You don't love to see it.
No. Josh Jacobs goes off the board at the 6-11.
Okay. That was after Zay Pacheco. What was that? RB11 you said Pacheco was?
Pacheco was 10, so that makes Jacobs 11.
Jacobs 11. Okay.
I think Jacobs is my 10 right now, so in this range, might have taken him a little higher, though.
Yeah. Surprised he fell already that far, but maybe we're going to readjust there here soon.
Yeah. Huh. Maybe this will push certain running backs down the board then.
1,000%. I feel like we kind of already seen that with. I mean, I see 1 or 2. I feel like 2 running backs I would like to have taken or felt like would have gone in this range already. Before there goes Kirk Cousins. That was the other quarterback. I thought Bryce Young and Kirk Cousins was a quarterback that could have potentially went.
Kirk Thuggins at the 6-12. I do like that deal. I like that deal big time.
Like if I went on Solomon's route, I would have taken Kirk Cousins and Bryce Young, 5'10" and 6'3" on the comeback to me.
Sure.
That felt really good if I was able to do that.
That makes sense. Hey guys, shout out to everybody watching. Do us a favor, hit that like button to show some love. Obviously, free agency chaos, it's all here. And we're seeing how Dynasty, the landscape has changed with all that in mind. Matty Lowe says, Badake, do you think the Giants go wide receiver at 6, quarterback and running back in the 2nd round?
100%. If not, we trade up for a wide receiver, or we trade up for a quarterback and we get a wide receiver in the 2nd round. We no longer have an early 2nd round pick because we used that pick to acquire Brian Burns, but we still have a middle second round pick, which is still great value to get another wide receiver. So I think my ultimate goal for us is to somehow hope that one of these quarterbacks fall to us. If Jaden Daniels fall to us, or the Drake made that everyone's saying that he should be falling, or he shouldn't, he should be the third quarterback or fourth quarterback off the board. Please let him fall to pick 6.
Yeah.
And then we'll take a wide receiver in the second round, if we possibly can. So,
Mike Evans off the board at the 7-3. He did get that extension. I'm trying to remember how much that extension was.
Wasn't it like 20, 35 mil, something like that?
Yeah, something in that range.
Let me see. 2 years, 52 mil. Gosh, I was way off. Look at Baker Mayfield getting the bag too, by the way. I don't think we mentioned or spoke about him.
What was it, 3 years?
It was 3 years, and he got, I think, let's see, Baker Mayfield. He got a 3-year, $100 million with $50 million guaranteed.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Baker Mayfield. I mean, shout out to him.
All right, I'm on the board, and I got JJ, which is a little risky. But we will go ahead and we will grab Deshaun, who's on that big contract, as our QB2 for the moment while JJ develops. Feeling good about that. I know we all hate him. I know we're not big fans of him as a person. But you literally cannot get out of that contract. It's all guaranteed. There's not a cent that is not guaranteed on Deshaun Watson's contract. So he's got it. He's going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy. Rashad White, James Cook off the board. What are you thinking here?
That was a good pick. I was hoping for brother James right there. Okay, well, I want to pivot then. Where can I pivot to? Okay, I see a couple players.
After this round, we'll change it to 30 seconds on the clock. So you're going to have to be quick with it, or the auto picks are going to happen.
It's going to be. Got to be quicker than that. Man, where do I go here? Where do I go? I can go veteran. I can go youth. I'm gonna go youth. I'll take Troy Franklin here. Somebody I still believe in. I think he's goes more second round. Maybe this is too early. What's this make him?
I don't know actually. Why? Well, in rookie, he would be the next one after Mitchell. JCM says Deshaun a good value. Quarterback 15 in points per game in limited but healthy games last year. It is a small sample. Steen, what's up, man? Do you view Pollard as the 1A and Spears as the 1B? Or does the money suggest Pollard gets the bulk? I don't think anyone can tell you that right now. I have no idea. To be honest with you. Really don't. And I'm not super interested in owning a lot of either of those guys at this point. Funnily enough, in our Alpha League, I was looking, and I have Pollard and Spears. How good is that? Pollard, Spears. I also have Antonio Gibson and Ramondre Stevenson. So today was a great day for that league.
You love to see it.
Kenneth Walker falls to the 7-10. What's going on there?
Yeah, I wanted to see how far he went because I was gonna wait and see if he came back to me at the 8-6. If he was available, I would have taken him RB2. But maybe I should have just taken him there, and then these rookies would have just fell to me.
Yeah. What's up, Preston? He says, why McBride over Bowers? I've seen McBride produce in the NFL. It's that simple, really. I've already seen him do what I want Bowers to do.
That's all.
Yeah, no, that's simple. I mean, and also let's not forget McBride's a good prospect in his own right. You know, he wasn't a first round pick, but second round pick. We loved him coming out of Colorado State, and now he's finally got that volume. So I know he's going to be in Arizona with Kyler Murray, and we've seen that success. So that's really the only reason why. Bo Nix goes off the board.
Yeah, brother Bo. Let's see where Selmo goes. I have a guy in mind that I'm going to want. Devontae Williams. Okay, so he goes running back. I was going to go running back, but I want David Montgomery here. I'll take him at the 8-4. That feels comfortable for me.
David Montgomery's a great pick there. Yeah, I love that. In fact, I was probably hoping he might come back to me. But, well, we'll talk in a second.
Gosh, the freaking New York Twitter.
Yeah, Brian Burns is a huge deal for you guys. Terry McLaurin off the board. I do like that pick for sure.
Yeah, he was on my queue. I was gonna take him over Troy, but I think with the capital, I think I might go Troy over, depending, if he goes early second, depending on what team he goes to.
So, call me crazy, but I'll take Ladd McConkey here.
Well, I don't mind it.
I'll take Ladd McConkey at the 8-7. I'm assuming he's going to
Actually,
go as a top 50 pick in the NFL draft, and I'll take him as my wide receiver 4 there.
I definitely should have taken him over Troy because I have Ladd over Troy now, so that's an oversight for me.
I was going to ask you about that. Those guys are tied as my wide receiver 5 right now, so I don't mind who fell, but I was going to ask you about if that changed for you.
No, it definitely did change. I just completely forgot about it.
Jeffrey says, I like how the Lions' Brad Holmes, his GM, is scouting players in the Dynasty Land mock. Yes. Where is he? Brad Holmes. Oh, all right. Okay. Y'all funny. Yeah, Freak says you robbed Carolina in that Burns trade. I agree.
Yeah, it's freaking.
I don't understand what Carolina was thinking.
I think they want they want capital because they don't have any. They wanted to get into the second round of this draft because of how good the offensive line draft is.
Yeah,
but at the same time, they could have paid everyone on their team. I mean, didn't they have the most cap? One of the top 5 caps in the NFL.
I think they were up there. Yeah.
Yeah, they were up there. They could have signed 3 offensive linemen or 2 offensive linemen. That could have instantly changed their whole squad. But they signed one to $100 million. And they trade away Brian Burns. That's stupid.
Yeah.
You stupid.
You stupid. Kelsey off the board. See, what I was going to ask you about was you went Monty at the 8-4. I would have Benson and Brooks ahead of Monty, personally, even though I love David Montgomery. I'm curious where you stand on that.
Yeah, look, I definitely could have gone Benson and Brooks, and I definitely would go Benson and Brooks over Monty, depending on the draft capital.
Just hard to say right now without knowing.
It is hard to say. Like, we can rule out the Packers for Benson and Brooks, right? That was a huge landing spot we saw all over for Benson and Brooks to go to now. We can rule out a lot of teams, actually.
I was actually going to go the opposite side of that and say, well, here are the teams that we can now say might actually go rookie running back. The Ravens, the Cardinals. I would not be surprised if the Cowboys are interested. The Vikings didn't really address it. The Raiders, maybe Zamir White. Maybe they go rookie running back. The Chargers got Gus Edwards, but I still think they didn't get like a Saquon or like a big name. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So some of those teams become a lot more like attractive landing spot.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, we have to reevaluate these running back landing spots because a lot of these teams that we were hoping for to be one are now not.
Yeah.
So that's going to be very interesting to see. But that also kind of just speaks to how poor this running back class is.
Mm.
I guess it was a frenzy in the first early parts of free agency today.
To grab
It was running back,
yeah.
running back, running back. They was
Yeah.
like, we need to get our guy right now before we don't have anyone, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
Who's available now? Still, who's still out there?
Derrick Henry.
Let's see. Um,
By the way, today is why you don't do startups yet. It is not fun doing startups before free agency. I think tight ends are a huge value. This is tight end premium. I'll take Njoku at the 9.6. I just struggle to see a scenario in which he should still be available.
So Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones available now. Alexander Madison. I'm just naming everyone. J.K. Dobbins, Damian Harris, Cam Akers. Yeah, like look, there's no one there. But the guys that got signed today, 8 players got signed. Josh Jacobs, Saquon, Pollard, Swift, Singletary, Gibson, Edwards, and Eckler got signed. And the biggest guy still available out there is Derrick Henry. So,
yeah. Kyle says everything changed today, boys. It did, Kyle. Everything changed.
Yeah. 100%.
I actually, we need to change the clock to 30 seconds, by the way. I forgot to do that. My bad.
Yeah. Devontae, Jameson, excuse me. All right,
Nice. I like that.
I'll take Jahan Dotson then here. Jahan Dotson. Still believe in the guy. Come on, get the quarterback in. Get him in.
I like the pick.
Yeah, Matty Benson was linked to the Eagles as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a big team, right? I think the best team right now for a free agent running back, I would definitely have to say is the Dallas Cowboys. Now, hypothetically, Derrick Henry goes there. You're really only stuck with now Vegas, who can get a running back, the Vikings, who can get a running back. That's, you got to be careful now with these running backs.
Yeah, I know. What's up, Kyle? He says, how can London be over Olave? That seems out of control. I don't know, dude. I mean, I feel much better about London. I'm not saying it's wrong. Like, I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong. But if you were to choose one of these situations, I think you would choose Drake London's. But I definitely get the concern, no doubt. What did I say in my rankings? Like, where did I have them ranked? I was trying to figure that out earlier. Yeah, right now I have Olave 10, London 12, but it's very close.
Yeah. I think when I just think of the quarterback play, I just feel significantly more comfortable with Kirk Cousins. We've seen the fantasy success with Kirk Cousins in the past. We've seen it with Derek Carr in the past as well. But we've seen it in a more consistent basis in the past couple of years with Kirk Cousins than Derek Carr, who was on the decline, where it felt like Kirk Cousins was at his ceiling. He was balling. Does that change with an Achilles? Maybe. Maybe not. And this offensive coordinator comes in from the Rams, who was successful with Puka and Cooper Kupp, right? I mean, the offense was very shaky in New Orleans. If I'm not mistaken, they also get a new offensive coordinator. The overall team around the Atlanta Falcons had a phenomenal foundation as well. And I think maybe these are the things that are drawing me to.
I get you.
Drawing me to Drake London over these guys.
Russell Wilson off the board. Do you think Russell Wilson starts for the Steelers this year?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sounds pretty confident.
I don't see... I mean, unless Kenny Pickett is balling out, I'll take... With that being said, I'll take Najee.
Okay.
I don't see how like I said, unless Kenny Pickett gave us the Oogadoos like he did in preseason again, he has to have like a phenomenal start that way. But I think Russell Wilson comes in and starts, and maybe that takes the pressure off of Kenny Pickett, right? He becomes more if Russell Wilson starts and he fails, maybe Kenny Pickett can then be the savior, where he was the savior and then he wasn't. The roles maybe need to flip.
I'm going to take Hollywood here, who is a free agent. We didn't hear much talk around free agent wide receivers today. That doesn't mean that teams aren't interested. It just means that that wasn't the priority for teams day one. So I still think Hollywood's one of the most attractive free agent wide receivers out there. There's so many places he could go where I think he would fit really well. Could he be the MVS replacement in Kansas City? I think that would complement Rashee Rice well. Could he be the replacement for Gabe Davis in Buffalo? Again, I think he would complement Stephon Diggs really well. He can take the top off of some secondaries for some team. So I'll take him there at the 10-7.
Okay. Yeah, only 3 wide receivers signed today. Gabe Davis to the Jags. Devin Duvernay, he goes to the Jags as well, actually, if I'm not mistaken. And then Gunnar Olszewski, which he's really just a special teams guy. The only top available wide receivers is Curtis Samuel. I guess you can put in Tyler Boyd, OBJ. You can throw technically Calvin Ridley, Hollywood Brown in there as well. That's really the top guys I would say are worthy of getting significant money compared to everyone else. That is, I mean, I would Darnell Mooney. I doubt he gets significant money.
Yeah,
but,
no, probably not.
Those are some names that we've seen in the past, and hopefully can turn things around for them in this wherever they are.
Yeah. Jacoby Myers off the board. We're starting to see some of these vet running backs come off the board. People are putting their foot down and saying, what's the worst that could happen? Let me draft this guy. Because honestly, what do you do at this point? You know, you just take a shot on a guy and see what happens, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Josh Jacobs to the Packers. My goodness.
What's up, Matthew? He says, is Sam Darnold going to the Vikings? Maybe, man.
Well, there's reports. I don't know if you've seen the reports.
That he might go there?
Well, it was like, say look for Minnesota Vikings to pursue quarterback Sam Darnold to help replace Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's a rumor. So,
I mean, it could happen for sure, but
I'm not saying it's out of the realm. I just think it solidifies putting the Vikings trying to get one of these quarterbacks, trying to move up, whatever that looks like, even if it's moving up to the 8 spot with Atlanta Falcons and maybe, JJ McCarthy is falling. They can move up just a little bit. Whatever that looks like in the NFL draft, which, by the way, 44 days away. Shout out to Daniel Macy.
Yes. I'll grab Durka Henry here at the 11-6 as my RB1 in the mid-11th round.
Cole Kmet goes off the board. I waited too long, did I? Yes, I did.
Yes, we agree, Matthew Jefferson. I mean, the whole Vikings team, not a good day if you own those guys in fantasy. That was a tough news. Start and Park says Sam Howell or Sam Darnold. Sam Howell, I think, if you could choose one. But neither of them are ideal.
Trey Lance. That's another big name there.
Trey Lance could be fun, man. I mean, Trey Lance would absolutely suck for Addison, for Justin Jefferson, for TJ Hawkinson, but it would be really fun. You can't say it wouldn't be fun to watch.
Nah, you can't say. It definitely would be fun there. Gosh, unlucky, man. I guess it's always been the concern. I was always concerned about the longevity of that quarterback position. So now hopefully it's not a quarterback carousel going to the Vikings.
I could see it, man. I could definitely see it. We'll
I
have
hate
to
that.
just see. I mean, what? Maybe they have plans that we don't know about. Maybe they already have a plan in place to move up.
Who's available at the quarterback position here? Ryan Tannehill, Jacoby Brissett, Sam Darnold, Marcus Mariota, Joe Flacco. That's nice.
Joe Flacco could be really cool, actually.
Joe, that could be nice there for a bridge quarterback for a year. That's about it though. Mason Rudolph is now potentially in talks, I would imagine, with Russell Wilson being there.
Yeah, that's not exciting though.
But I think the top guy there is Joe. I wouldn't even throw Ryan Tannehill in there. I like Ryan Tannehill.
I'll say it with you.
I'll say it with you.
What's up, Steven says, with the Falcons signing Kirk, can we all agree they are just the biggest idiots for skipping the Lamar sweepstakes? Yes. Damn it. Kendre Miller off the board. I was hoping he was going to fall to me. Pitts went at the 4-8. This is tight end premium. Ryan Tannehill in Minnesota or New England? Yeah, I could see it.
Take Zach Charbonnet. See what happens.
All right, Zach Charbonnet off the board. Brandon says Zamir White is a winner.
Yeah, 100%.
I'd have to agree with you there.
I definitely like Zamir White.
Gabe Davis off the board. So here I am. And guys, the year is 2021. All right?
Uh-oh.
And I've got Derrick Henry and Austin Eckler, 2 top 5 running backs. I don't know if you guys knew this. We were actually drafting for the year 2021. So, jokes on all of y'all. Yeah, we got a superstar backfield in rounds 11 and 12. Noah, it's certainly not good for Brian Robinson. Certainly not good. It'll probably be a 50-50 split. I don't think this means Eckler is like the guaranteed starter at all. I think he will play a role there. I don't think there was a single place Eckler could have signed where he would have been the starter. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree there.
Cooper Rush to Minnesota, maybe. Devin Singletary was actually the name I was hoping would fall to the 13th. I thought he was really sneaky. So, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys, I didn't even see Devin Singletary. Definitely would have taken him there.
Yeah, I was trying to see how far he would fall, and I maybe got a little bit too greedy. Xavier Legette
gonna give it
off
to
the
ya.
board. X gonna give it to you. This could be a fun team, man. But Deshaun Watson at Superflex. Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Amon-Ra, Rice, Metcalf, Trey McBride, and Titan Premium. Got a nice little squad here. We've got Kyler, Tua, Saquon, Monty, Chase, London, Reed, Franklin, Dotson, and Luke Musgrave at tight end.
Falls to me. Let's see who else falls to me. Get jiggy with it. F Saquon. Nah, we love you, Say. We love you, man. I'm glad you got the
That guy
bag.
gave you everything he could. It's actually your fault for
No.
not signing him.
I mean, it's an absurd amount of money. Let's be honest with you. And we had way too many holes to sign Saquon and prioritize him. Same thing with Xavier McKinney, which is unfortunate. We needed to get the running back position. We needed to get a quarterback. Offensive line. We needed a pass rusher. Like, I think we were always going to get outbid with both of those guys once the salary cap went up. No question about it. Like, it just boosted everyone. But
Dobbs off the board. Chuba Hubbard off the board. That could be a sneaky value there. But I'll take, how about Jalen Wright? Welcome to the squad, Jalen Wright. We're doing something here late with these running backs. We're doing something. Matthew says, you guys think Trev sharpens up with Mac Jones nipping at his heels? I don't think his job's in jeopardy at all. I just think they were like, hey, let's make sure we have a plan B if he does get injured.
Yeah, because that was a struggle last year.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones became starting quarterback to. Mac Jones to the Vikings would have been.
I would have been okay.
It would have been interesting. Like, it would have been terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And we seem to forget, like, his rookie year. He took the team to the playoffs.
The playoffs?
It was being. To be fair, it was.
Yeah.
Heavily based on the defensive side of the ball, but still, he took the team to the playoffs.
He could improve. I mean, look, it could be incentive, but to me, this is more an indication that Mac Jones isn't a starter in the NFL than it is Lawrence is in trouble or anything. Brandon wants to know if you guys are going quarterback.
I think we will, Brandon. I think we're in a position to try and get a quarterback, and I've said this earlier in the off season that I'm not sure about JJ McCarthy, but if we're there and if there's anyone that can upbring a quarterback that's maybe not 100%, it's Brian Dable and Joe Shane, who's done that with Josh Allen before. Remember the talks of them trading up for Josh Allen at the time, and there was like, what's going on? This guy's not ready. There's so many question marks, and that could be the same. Same could be said with
JJ,
Bo Nix, with JJ, with any of these quarterbacks with the 6th pick. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Josh Allen the 6th pick, or was he like the 6th pick?
I think he was the 7th overall pick.
It was very similar, and they traded up to get him. Quentin Johnson, that's what I wanted. I didn't think anyone was going to take him, but yeah, I think we go get a quarterback, and if not, we get best player available, and that's either going to be Malik Neighbors. I'm okay. How about this? I'll sum it up. I'm okay with the quarterback, the Bent's offensive line with Joel Alt, or Malik Neighbors at the wide receiver position. If all three of those guys hypothetically aren't there, which I doubt, we trade back and get value.
Yeah. Looking at players on the board here. I think there's a couple of sneaky names still out there.
Interested to know. I can see one if maybe we're on the same page there.
There's two names I have in mind.
At the running back or wide receiver? I see one in both actually.
Both.
Yeah, I see one in both. Yeah.
There goes Sutton off the board. That's nice. Is Blake Corum not gone?
No, he's not.
Welcome to the squad.
Jacoby Brissett plans to sign with the.
Are you sure he's not?
A rookie. Last time I'm sorry. He is gone. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll take Raheem Mostert then.
Yes, that was the first one that was on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Jacoby Brissett plans to sign with the Patriots, boys. So that means the Patriots are moving back.
Anything.
They're moving back, guys.
That does not mean anything.
Giants are moving right up to the 3rd spot. There we go.
Stop it.
That means everything.
Damn. Pi Network is up to $59 US.
Oh man, there you go. Sell your shares.
No. I'm a founder. Yes, William, it is absolutely chaos. Absolute chaos. Same. I hear you, Matthew. I do think there are better days ahead for him personally. Steven says, who's y'all's current favorite sleeper who will be much more valuable at the start of the season than they are today? Treylon Burks, I was going to talk about him, but I don't want to get roasted for it. Honestly, at this point, Quentin Johnston too. Like, I really think at this point, he's a sleeper.
That's where I was going. That was the person I was going to say.
Kendre Miller comes to mind for me. Devin Singletary, if this is his price. Deshaun Watson. Jahan Dotson, which you got.
I love Jahan Dotson. I think Wandale
Hollywood.
Robinson is there.
Wandale, I
Yeah,
like that.
Hollywood. The list can honestly go on. There's a lot of different people, a lot of different names. Daniel Bellinger, because Darren Waller is shit.
The old Belland.
The old Belland. There's a lot of names there. But yes, Quentin Johnson is definitely one that I still believe in. And the opportunity could potentially still be there if they don't. I see David Montgomery. I'm taking David Montgomery over him. I'm taking Trey, Jonathan Brooks, depending on the draft capital, over DeAndre Swift. I think when it comes down to it, if I'm looking at my rankings, I think if I'm looking at Swift and Javonte Williams.
Really?
I think Javonte Williams is going to be a rotational guy. I don't think he's going to be the number one guy there.
I would take Javonte over Swift pretty easily.
Then it goes to like Najee Harris, and then the list goes on.
I guess we always talk about how good the offensive line was in Philadelphia, and I posed the question to people in free agency: where is he going to sign? Where he's in a better situation than Philadelphia? Anyone behind that offensive line would have looked fantastic. He was the RB24 on a per game basis as the starter last year. So
yeah.
I'm going to take Rashawn Johnson. Is there really going to be that big of a difference in their opportunities in this backfield? Is Rashawn Johnson really 8 rounds less valuable than DeAndre Swift? I'm just posing the question.
Yeah. I mean, look, I once again, I'm not like clear cut on Swift. I think if it continues to the trend that I'm believing it's going to, I think he can definitely rise. Just based off his pass catching opportunity, honestly, and it's based off of the new head coach and the new regime, and the new offensive coordinator and the new quarterback that's coming in. And maybe I'm putting too much emphasis on all these other guys that are there, but I don't know. I feel really confident and excited for someone like a Swift in that offense. If, once again, we've seen, let me just take a...
Leonard Williams to re-sign with the Seahawks.
Yeah, not bad. I'll take Bingo here. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortably Monty over Swift. I was looking at my rankings.
Yeah, me too. I'm comfortable Monty over Swift as well.
Where do I have him? Swift or Mixon, Swift or Tajay, Swift or Kamara, Swift or Kendre. I probably have to move Brian Robinson down pretty significantly.
And look, I hear you, Spell. I think
yet.
Javonte could potentially be a rotational guy. We saw a three-headed back there last year. Granted, Javonte was injured. He wasn't 100% healthy. He was coming off that ACL tear. But we saw the kind of a little glimpse of emergence of Jaleel McLaughlin, which I thought was interesting. And I don't think he is not going to play a role. And when I say three-headed monster, I mean like, 60-20-20.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not saying that there's going to be a three-way split. I think Javonte is still going to have the majority of the role. I just don't think he's going to be the guy maybe we were hoping and expecting him to be when he first came into the league, unfortunately.
Yeah. Steven says Roscoe might not have any value if he gets cut in training camp, though. See, this is what I don't understand, though. I love Steven, but I don't understand that. Like, this is the same GM, the same head coach that just drafted Rashawn Johnson last year. His contract is $915,000.
I just think is there a progression? Like, what's the difference? Because what's Khalil Herbert? It's $1 million. So what's that? An extra couple hundred? What is the difference between, in their minds, if that is true from what Steven's saying, where we have all these guys in training camp, and it's between Khalil, who's $1 million, and then Rashawn, who you just use a draft pick on, that is $900,000, right? You said.
No, I'm trying to understand why you would cut either of them.
Sure. Roster cuts.
You're not going to roster 3 running backs?
Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, maybe he gets cut and goes to the practice squad.
What team has not rostered 3 running backs ever?
Some people keep them on the practice squad and they elevate them. I think there's different ways they do it, just depending on the team construction.
Yeah, I wonder if this team does stay with Fields, that is not good for Swift at all. If they go Caleb Williams, I guess it could be interesting. No one remembers it in the live comments. Yeah, we saw that Brissett with the Patriots. Blind is upset that we skipped his question. Hey, man, there's a lot of questions. We're trying our best, Blind. Okay? We're trying our best. He wants us to know Monty or Pollard.
I mean, if we're talking about Monty over Javonte or Swift, do you think Pollard is up there?
I wouldn't put Pollard over Monty. It's not even. I'm not even thinking about it.
He's nowhere. He's not remotely there. And I think maybe that's why we kind of understood.
So 3 years, $21.5 million for Leonard Fournette. But anyway, guys, that is it for today. We appreciate you. Do us a favor, hit the like button. Hey, also, if you guys want to hear our thoughts around free agency, we actually went live before this stream, and we talked about all of that. So this stream right here, it's all changed. We talked about free agency. You can see my live reaction when Austin Eckler signs to Washington. You can go check that out. But anything else you want to say before we end the stream?
No, we appreciate you. We might do this tomorrow if there's any big signings, but if not, we will continue with our scheduled program. We're doing a rookie mock draft tomorrow, but just all depends on what's happening in free agency. So definitely stay tuned.
All right, later, guys. All love.